I conquered this list for original TV shows on streaming services. Now it's time to do the same for movies. What's going on, guys? I'm Chris and welcome back to another video. So today I'm talking about my favorite original movie from every streaming service. Like I said up front, I did this with TV shows. Now it's time to do this with original movies. But before I get into this thing, be sure to hit that like button and comment down below your favorite original movie from every streaming service. Subscribe and hit that notification bell to help reach my goal of 150,000 subscribers here on the channel. It would mean a lot. And if you guys want to watch movies and TV shows with me, you can do so on my Patreon, link down below. I have commentary tracks for various movies and TV shows, as well as other exclusive content, including live streams. So consider joining the Film Stock Patreon community today. Your support means the world. Alright, so I've got 7 streaming services that I'm talking about today, and without further ado, let's just start with Hulu. Hulu has surprisingly put out a few original movies, but my favorite of theirs is Fresh. This is a horror film starring Sebastian Stan and Daisy Edgar Jones. And I'm hesitant to reveal too much about the premise, but I'll say this much. The title card doesn't drop for the first 30 minutes, and it's very effective. The first 30 minutes of this movie create this eerie sense of uneasiness, like something's off with this guy. Then a certain reveal happens and you're like, oh, you're just on board for the madness that ensues. It's not for the faint of heart. There's a lot of disturbing imagery, and the movie can get pretty graphic. The subject matter itself I won't reveal too much about, but if you've seen Silence of the Lambs, you'll probably be a fan of Fresh. Sebastian Stan gives one of his better performances. The man doesn't miss, and Daisy Edgar Jones is really great here as well. This is actually the first time I've ever seen her in anything. If you're a fan of the horror genre or dark thrillers, Fresh is my recommendation for you. But if you get queasy pretty easily from blood or gore, don't check this one out. For Apple TV Plus, I gotta go with Killers of the Flower Moon. This is the most recent Martin Scorsese film that was nominated for 10 Oscars. Now, it didn't win anything, but there were Oscar-worthy performances here, specifically Lily Gladstone. What her character undergoes in this film is truly heartbreaking and devastating, and she portrays that so well. You've got Robert De Niro playing one of the most vile humans I've seen in a long time in a movie. And of course you got Leonardo DiCaprio headlining the film, one of the best actors of our time. He doesn't miss. This movie shined a light on truly horrific events that occurred with the Osage people and how people attempted to just sweep this under the rug. It's truly gross. The movie's 3.5 hours long and Scorsese directs the hell out of it. It's by no means a movie that I ever envisioned myself rewatching, but it's an important watch that taught me a lot about an event that I really didn't know much about. For Amazon Prime Video, I'm going with Air. I saw the movie in theaters, but it technically is still a Prime original, and it stars Ben Affleck and Matt Damon, the dynamic duo themselves. The movie tells the story of how Nike got Michael Jordan to sign with them, and this was just a fascinating watch. The dialogue's very quick-hitting. Jason Bateman in a supporting role knocks it out of the park, and Viola Davis plays Michael Jordan's mother, making her the heart of this film. If you like behind-the-scenes sports stories like, say, Moneyball, this movie will be right up your alley. I remember seeing it like in the early afternoon, so I got a little sleepy during the film, but I've wanted to revisit it since, and the Matt Damon character's speech at the end is a real standout. It's just one of those motivational sports stories that's not really about the sport itself, but it's in the realm of sports, which makes things more interesting. Sports biopics just interest me, and so Air was my cup of tea for the most part. For Disney Plus, I don't really have a lot of options because I haven't seen a lot of their original movies, so by default, I'm going with Hocus Pocus 2. A movie that I thought was alright. I don't have a ton of nostalgia for that original Hocus Pocus. On some days, I find this movie to be more watchable than that original because I actually can't stand it. I don't have much else to say about Hocus Pocus 2. I watched it one time and I'll probably never watch it again. It does a decent job of creating that spooky season, Halloween, fall vibe that we all love. But the movie itself is pretty forgettable, just like the first Hocus Pocus. So yeah, that's all I gotta say about that. For Paramount Plus, which I actually didn't talk about in my TV show video because I haven't seen any of their original shows, I'm going with Teen Wolf the movie. And before you laugh and throw your tomatoes at me, I really don't think this movie's good by any means. But I watched through all of Teen Wolf last year and really enjoyed that journey, fell in love with various characters, and this movie makes pretty much no sense within the world of Teen Wolf. It disobeys a lot of the rules that are established, and the writing is all over the place. Like, it truly doesn't make sense. But I do get to see the return of my favorite character from the show, so I'm never gonna turn that down. Even though I'm not crazy about how they handled it in retrospect, I was just happy to revisit the world of Teen Wolf, even if it was pretty mediocre to bad. Like, this movie is heavily flawed and doesn't make sense within the rules that have been set up for Teen Wolf, but at least we got to return to the world, I guess. Also, it's the only movie I've seen from Paramount Plus, so had to get it in here. For Max, formerly HBO Max, I'm going with Zack Snyder's Justice League. This is the 4-hour rendition of Justice League where Zack Snyder got to see his vision fully sought out. And while the movie's a huge improvement over the theatrical cut of Justice League, aka Justice League, I still find it to be highly overrated. The movie doesn't need to be 4 hours. It's indefensibly long. The final hour is just post-credit scenes setting up nothing. The biggest praise I'll give this movie is it greatly improves Superman's role. We get to see Black Suit Superman. He kicks some ass in this film, and the score rules. I mean, the final moments where the Flash has his moment to shine, standout scene in this film. I just can't help but feel like this movie's one I'll never revisit because a lot of it is just promising things we're never gonna see or setting up a sequel we're never gonna see, and it's like, why should I go back and watch this movie that's just kind of leading to a dead end? It handles the character dynamics way better. Visually, it's a lot easier on the eyes in the theatrical cut, and there's some epic moments, but people overrate the hell out of this movie, in my opinion. And for the king of these streaming services, the one that started it all, Netflix, I'm going with Tick, Tick, Boom. To me, Andrew Garfield should have won an Oscar for his performance as Jonathan Larson. The movie's directed by Lin-Manuel Miranda, of all people, and he does a great job of telling this story. I didn't realize Tick, Tick, Boom was a play before watching this, and this movie tells the story of Jonathan Larson. Ultimately, it's tragic in the end. I listened to this soundtrack all the time in 2021 when the movie came out, and I still revisit it frequently. The music is outstanding, but the film itself is one of those movies that reminds you to chase your dreams, to give it your all in life, because we only have one life. It's an inspiring watch. Andrew Garfield's performance will bring you to tears, and Tick, Tick, Boom really is a movie that makes you realize time is precious. Make the most of every day, and don't let anyone else in life tell you what you should or shouldn't be doing. Listen to your heart, follow your dreams. Tick, Tick, Boom always reminds me of that. It's a special movie. But that does it for my favorite original movie from every streaming service. Let me know your picks in the comments down below, and be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to help me reach my goal of 150,000 subscribers here on the channel. It would mean a lot. And if you guys want to watch movies and TV shows with me, you can do so on my Patreon. I do commentary tracks for various movies and shows and have lots of exclusive content over there, so consider joining the Film Stock Patreon today. Your support really does mean the world. But that'll do it. Thank you guys as always, and until next time, I'll see you guys later.